All right, everyone. Thanks for joining me. We are going to get started here. It is 6:30 on the dot, and we have a lot to cover. This is a really exciting class, and thank you for joining us. We are going to talk about slim and sassy and weight loss, and we're going to talk about how to do this in a healthy way. I'll give you a little bit of information about me. My name is Char Brown, and I'm a diamond with doTERRA. I've been with doTERRA for 4.5 years, and it has changed my life in the very, very best way. We have better health, we have better finances, we have time freedom, and most of all, we get to share with other people how to do what we do and change lives. That's our goal, is to just help people know how to experience what we've experienced with our doTERRA journey too. So I'm really glad that you joined us, and we're gonna go ahead and get going here on our little class. I'd like to welcome you. I'm glad you joined us. This is being recorded in 2 different ways. So we're recording it on Facebook Live in our group as well. I'm going to be loading it to our YouTube channel for folks to watch it later. So I'm really glad that you joined us, and I would love to just ask you to come into this with an open mind as well as an open heart, because the mind and heart are interrelated and they communicate with one another. And so if one is closed, the other one isn't going to be open either. So I want to ask you to open your mind and open your heart to the concepts that I'm going to be presenting. It's really, it could be life-changing. Let's just call it what it is. All right. So anyway, welcome to my class tonight, and I hope that you walk away with some really cool, interesting, exciting concepts. Okay, let's see if I can get it to advance. There we go. So we're going to talk about being committed. I'm cutting off my head right there. That's funny. Okay, so we're going to talk about being committed. Typically, you have to commit to this, right? Going on a diet and losing weight and getting a healthier lifestyle is not for the faint of heart. And I think that most of us, me included, even though most people look at me and go, oh my gosh, you're so thin. No, I've got all the same issues that everybody else does. And I have dieted and done some crazy things to lose weight over the years. And so I'm right there with you. I totally understand the battle. Struggle is real. Hashtag struggle is real, right? And I think part of the problem is that we typically we'll do a fad diet, or we will just go, on a thing. All right, I'm going to stop eating, or I'm going to quit eating. I'm only going to eat dinner, or I'm only going to eat lunch, right? And all of those things are not healthy. And what it does is we condition our minds to believe that losing weight is hard and impossible. And so when we go into it with that presupposed idea, it's gonna be brutal, right? It's gonna be really hard. And so when we believe this, when we start, it sets us off on the wrong path, okay? Losing weight is a lifestyle change. It's about changing your habits, and it's not once and done. It's not something that you can just go on a diet and then stop doing what you were doing and then think it's not going to come back, because it does. And so I think this is one of the problems with our thinking when we go into this. And so I have some really, really good concepts that I want to share with you. And I've got my iced tea because I've got allergy issues going on. It just splashed me in the face. Oh dear. This is Life with Char. Oh, I have a funny that I did earlier today. Maybe I'll share it after I get done with the video later. Oh heck, you know what? I'll just share it. I was prepping for this webinar today, And I thought Cleo, our little wiener dog, was sitting right next to me, wrapped up in a blanket. And so I started talking to her in my little baby wiener dog voice, right? Oh, Cleo, are you so excited to go take your walk and go get your good girl done? I was literally talking to the blanket. And all of a sudden, something out of the corner of my eye, I saw something and I looked over and she wasn't actually in the blanket. She was on Russ's lap and he was sitting on the other end of the sofa. And he looks at me like I have gone off the deep end. He's like, you're talking to the blanket now? Yep, that's this girl. Not gonna lie, it's that's life with Char. That is how things roll around here for me. So anyway, so I would like to ask you to walk away with some concepts, right? So I have a bunch of things I'm going to share with you, and hopefully you come away with some really good things, some ideas, some concepts, and hopefully it's something that you get something that you can take away and maybe do something life-changing. Isn't this adorable? Well, this is adorable on the baby. It's adorable on my granddaughters, not adorable on me. I'm not in love with that. But let's talk about what is body fat. Did you know that it actually has a purpose, right? Body fat, we need it. It's there for a reason. So let's talk fat. All right, so our body is comprised of fat cells. They're called adipose cells or adipocytes. Okay, so that's the technical term for it. And they're very special, and we need them. We need them. Yes, we do. We need them. And typically, a fat cell contains a drop of lipid or fat, and then it has the cell nucleus. And the cell nucleus and all of that, because the fat cell, the lipid part of it is so big, it pushes the nucleus and everything off to the side. So that's what fat cells look like. And they vary in size, how big they are, and the number from person to person. So nobody is the same. I teach this all the time in my classes. We are all different. We're all individuals, and our fat cells are no different. They are very, very different from one person to the next. Okay. They are in clusters. So they cluster together and they make little clumps of body fat. And we need those clumps, okay? There's 3 reasons. Here's the 3 reasons. Number 1, they provide, get this, padding for our vital organs as a shock absorber. Okay, so this girl here took a spill. I fell flat on my behind, a couple of weeks ago. And it's a good thing I had some padding back there, and it's a really good thing I take my bone nutrient and I didn't break anything, but boy was I sore for a few days. But that's what our fat cells do. So that's why we have fat on our buttocks, because typically when we fall, where do we fall? We fall on our behind, on the ice, right? We live in Colorado, and when it's icy, I'm one of those people that keep an eye on me because you might find something really funny. Matter of fact, you should probably be recording it on your phone. One day I came out to the truck and I had parked on an ice patch and I didn't realize it, and I was going to get in the truck and I grabbed the door handle. Thank goodness I had grabbed the door handle because my feet went out from under me and I went down underneath the truck. I didn't get seriously injured, but I was laying on the ground looking up at the step of the truck and laughing. Then I gracefully get up from the ice patch and I look around to see who saw me. Okay, so that's what happens. And we have those fat cells on our buttocks for a reason. Okay, our fat cells reside just underneath the skin. Okay, so they're right there, right underneath the skin. They're just kind of hanging out right there. And the second thing that our fat cells do is that they provide insulation for us, right? Our fat cells keep us from losing heat. So they act like a blanket on our body, because heat regulation is really, really important, right? And so super thin people are always cold, right? Or it seems like they're always cold because they don't have any fat, right? So I would be happy to give them some of it from around my middle, my thighs, my rear end. I'm happy to give that up to anybody who wants it. And then thirdly, the third thing that it does is energy storage. Okay, so our fat cells store energy for our bodies. I'm sorry, I'm moving around here. So it stores energy for our body to use at a later time. Okay. So energy use in our body is constant. It's constantly working, constantly using energy. And so that's why we have fat cells too, for energy. So the energy necessity is constant in our bodies, but food intake is not constant, right? We typically eat 3 meals a day. I know a lot of people who only eat 1, and that's really, really unhealthy. So those are the 3 reasons that we have fat. We have to have fat, you guys. It's super important. So let's talk about some statistics. This is pretty sad. 65% of Americans are overweight or obese. It's a pretty sad statistic. And so sometimes the big fallacy is that other countries aren't as bad. Oh, really? The statistic for countries outside of the United States, for other developed countries in the world, is 50%. So that's a problem, okay? And 15% of children are obese, okay? And that's the reason that this is so bad, is that obesity is a global health concern. It is something that is a problem in the world, not just for the US, across the world. And the reason it's a problem is that obesity and being overweight can be very, very bad for your health. It can cause cancer, diabetes, cardiovascular disease, heart disease, hypertension, and stroke. So those are all the reasons that we need to get in control of our weight and do a really good job at trying to take control of our healthy lifestyles. So I wrote this down in my notes. Don't be a statistic, right? We don't want to be a statistic. And we have the ability to change this, and we can change it for ourselves, and then we can go out and show other people how to change it. That's what we do at doTERRA. That's what makes us so special. So we want to, we're going to talk about preventative health care versus reactive sick care, okay? Because if we don't get control over our diet and our lifestyle and eat better and lose weight, we are going to be in a reactive sick mode, and that's not good, okay? So we're going to put some things out here to try and help you. I love this. You are not a caveman. Although I dressed up as a cave woman one time for Halloween. I have pictures. You should ask me sometime to see it. It's pretty dang funny. But we are not cavemen, okay? Here's the problem. There are many factors involved in weight management, including health concerns, okay? So for most people, it's a result of poor lifestyle habits and choices. That's the reason that most people are overweight. I know that there are people that they're an exception to the rule, and they have health issues and things that are causing that. But for the majority, the great majority of people, it is a result of choosing unhealthy lifestyle choices, okay? So let's talk about the caveman syndrome. Number 1, our body doesn't believe that our food supply is constant, okay? So we were designed and built as cave people our body believes that we don't have food readily available. So that's the way it was back in caveman days, right? You had to hunt, fish, and gather to go to feed yourself, okay? So your body goes into a mode where it starts saving energy for when you may not be able to eat, okay? And number 2, our body thinks that we will need to work hard, like physical labor to get the food. Well, that used to be the case back in the day, but that's not the way it is now, right? We don't have to work hard to get the food. We put our shoes on, we get in the car, we drive to the grocery store, we get our cart, and then we lean on the cart, right, as we're pushing the cart through the store. So we're not even really burning energy that way. We're doing our shopping, and then we take it back home. That's not working hard for your food, okay? That's not. So our body assumes that we will feast when we catch our prey, okay? And so food may not be available for 3 or 4 days at a time in that environment. You getting this? We have a stocked pantry and food in our refrigerator, right? At least in some places in Europe, they don't have big, huge refrigerators, and they have to go shopping every day, right? So that would cause you to actually have to get some exercise to go get your food, but still you're not working hard to go get your food. So our bodies are still in caveman mode, even though we're not cavemen anymore. We haven't changed that way of our bodies reacting yet. So our body wants us to eat foods that are high in calorie for energy production, to chase our food, to hunt, right? Or to avoid being chased by our food. That would be a problem, right? When you're hunting, you could be chased by a bear, right? So you have to have those storage, the food storage, you know, in your body for energy. So, so one of the things that we shouldn't do is eat late at night. This is something that I know lots of people do, and it's easy to get stuck in the trap because you are busy, you have kids, you got to do the homework, you got to get home from work, you got to do the sports. And so a lot of people just grab, you know, whatever, they drive through, you know, the fast food, and they bring it home and they eat dinner about 8 o'clock at night. And that's really bad for your body because your body thinks it needs to store it, right? And when you take food in, your body is trying to convert it to energy. So whatever you're doing at the time, it's going to use part of that food that you eat as energy, and then it's going to store the rest, okay? So note to self, we are not cavemen, right? And we eat too much and we sit too often. Those are a couple of takeaways that we need to remember, okay? We are not cavemen. So why are so many people struggling with their weight? Well, there's quite a few things that could contribute to it. So I've got some ideas on this, and I wrote down some answers. We are eating more calories than we burn. Okay, that's probably the #1 cause. I know that's my issue. For my lifestyle, I don't need to eat that many calories. I probably only need about 800 or 900 calories a day. Okay, I don't chase my food. The only stairs I have to climb are the ones that going upstairs to go to bed at night. So I don't have a real active lifestyle. So I have to go do extra on the outside. I have to exercise outside of my lifestyle to burn any extra calories. So we have a lack of exercise to burn our calorie stores. We have a lot of stress, a high stress lifestyle, and not enough sleep. And I'm not talking about lounging on the sofa. That does not count. I'm talking about sleep. When you go to bed and you sleep for 8 hours and you don't wake up during that time. If you're not getting 8 hours of sleep, you're probably stressing your body. And when your body is stressed, it stores fat, okay? Because you're in fight or flight. So it's storing it for later. We have toxic stressors that also promote fat storage. So all of the toxins that we take in, and I've done classes on this, right? So all of the toxins that we take into our body, whether it be in drinks, alcohol, food, the things that we put on our body, what we use to clean our home, what we use to wash our laundry, all of these things are toxins, and they get stored in our fat cells, the toxins in our body, because they are foreign and our body doesn't know what to do with them, so it stores them, okay? How about starving ourselves, right? I know people that are in super busy industries, like nurses, have a really hard time even going to the bathroom, let alone taking a lunch break. So a lot of times we don't eat regularly. And when we don't eat regularly, our body says, oh, note to self, she's not going to eat again. I don't know when she's going to eat again. So therefore, I better put on some extra weight. So I'm going to store some extra fat. Yeah, we'll put that one right on the left cheek, and we'll put the other one on the right cheek. Yeah, that's what we'll do, because we don't know when we're going to get food again, right? So we better store it up, okay? That's what starving yourself does. And starving means skipping meals, okay? How about processed foods? Processed foods are full and riddled with high fat, high sugar, and high salt content. Not good for us at all. And then sugar is a problem, right? That is my issue. Sugar, I'm a sugar addict. Hi, my name is Shar, and I'm addicted to sugar. And dairy, okay? So I've recently tried to remove sugar and dairy. I have removed dairy from my diet completely, and sugar is also one of the things that I'm cutting way back on. So these are lifestyle choices, you guys. Yes, these are choices. We get to make these choices, okay? Nobody's putting a gun to our head and telling us not to eat or to overeat. It's a choice, and I'm going to go into this in a minute. There's a reason for why we react the way we do with food. Okay, but first of all, let's set the foundation for a wellness lifestyle. This is super important. And we're not going to pay attention to the upper part of the pyramid because we are not talking about healthcare right now, although I could go on for 2 hours about healthcare and what a mess it is, and our government are knuckleheads. But let's talk about lifestyle. So the 4 bottom rungs of the pyramid here. The first one, what is the foundation? Eat right. Okay, it's not about just eating, it's about making good choices and eating right. Okay, your mom always told you to make good choices, right? Eat right. The second part of the foundation is exercise, rest and managing stress, and reducing toxic load. These 4 things will play into your fat storage in your body. I'm sorry, don't shoot the messenger. It's a fact. You need to eat right, eat better, exercise, rest and manage stress, and reduce your toxic load, okay? And I am making good choices. I am working so hard at this because I realized over the last couple of years that I've kind of been lax in my foundational health here with the wellness lifestyle. And so I made a commitment to myself January 1st that this was going to be the year of Shar. And that sounds really selfish, but it's really not, because if I'm not in my best mode, how can I serve others, right? How can I be good for my family, good for my grandkids, and help other people become financially independent and build the businesses that they want to if I'm not healthy? So this year is the year of Shar, and I am focusing on getting healthy, and I made huge changes to our diet. Okay, Russ and I are naughty. We can afford to eat out every single night, and we were for a long time. We went through our budget and realized we were spending $1,400 a month eating out. That's a lot. So we made some really serious big changes, and we are getting prepped meals, prepared meals with all of the ingredients delivered to the house. And so 3 meals a week are from sunbasket.com. And if you want more information, I'd be happy to talk to you about that offline. And then the other 3 meals that we get are vegan. So we are really making huge changes in our diet. And you know what? When we did that, I all of a sudden became unable to tolerate sugar. And I think it's because putting the good stuff in, and then I put a cookie on top of it, and my body goes, no, I don't want the cookie, I want more good stuff. And it rebelled big time. So the second thing is exercise. We are really trying hard to exercise, and it's not my favorite thing. I hate exercise. Exercise is an 8-letter, 4-letter word for me. I do not like it. I find no pleasure in exercise whatsoever, and it's a chore for me to want to go do it. But you know why I go do it? Because my body needs it, and it's part of being healthy, okay? Resting and manage stress. Actually, exercise is a stress reliever. So when I exercise, I sleep better. When I sleep better, I'm able to better manage my daily stressors that happen to me, and my emotions are not all over the place and wacky, right? And then reducing toxic load. If you ever came to my house, you would see that my bathrooms are equipped with nothing but doTERRA products. My kitchen underneath my sink is all doTERRA. My laundry products are doTERRA. What I use in my skincare is doTERRA. My hair care is doTERRA. All of my supplements are doTERRA. So I have reduced my toxic load huge. And I would encourage all of you to try the same, okay? So let's look at this little guy, okay? So you could put my mugshot right there. You could put my picture in there, because I'm gonna take that chocolate cake on the right side every single time. I'm all about the chocolate, all about the cake, right? And not the apple. But everything begins with making the right choices. So it's funny because Russ and I changed our eating habits, right, hon? We were doing so good. And some days I would be like, I just need to go get an ice cream. Can we just go to DQ? DQ is my favorite. Can we just go to DQ and get a hot fudge sundae? And Russ is like, because he caters to me, he gives me whatever I want. He says, sure, let's go. So we get in the car and we go, and I eat my hot fudge sundae, and I'm just loving it. And then we get home, and about a half an hour later, I have a bellyache. No joke, horrible stomach ache, and it's the sugar. So I have done everything I can to cut sugar out of my routine. And when we do make the right choices, our body will let us know when we make the wrong choices. Trust me on this, okay? Alcohol too. I'm in the middle of this cleanse and I wanted a glass of wine yesterday afternoon, so Russ and I enjoyed a glass of wine, and let me tell you, I paid for it, right? And I'm not sure if it's the sugar or the toxic load, but my body was not having it. And I had a big old bellyache after one glass of wine with dinner last night. So we have to begin with making the right choices, right? And so when you decide you're going to make the choices, you have to follow it with action. And trust me, getting the meal delivery to your home is so good because you have the meals and they're sitting in the refrigerator. And this is how my mind works, right? Russ would be like, well, can we just go get something out tonight? And I'd be like, no, because the food in the fridge is going to go bad. And we paid good money for that. So having the food with the prepared meals in the refrigerator keeps Russ and I out of the restaurants. And that's a good thing because restaurant food is not good for you. Even on your best day when you're trying really hard to make good choices in a restaurant, you're still not getting the same quality that you would eat at home. When you eat your meals at home, prepared, they are so much more nutritious for you. So, and you know, some of the stuff that I'm telling you guys is Captain Obvious, right? I mean, these are things that we've heard for years, things that we already know, but sometimes we just need a good swift kick in the rear end, right? To wake us up or somebody to remind us about this. But let's just do it. Let's just go for it, right? I asked you earlier to open your minds and your heart and just take this in and make a commitment to you. This is about you, right? You've got to make a commitment to yourself. You deserve to be, to feel better, to have a healthier lifestyle, to have more energy. You deserve that. And the people that are around you that depend on you to be healthy and be at your best. Russ and I, man, our goal, having these two little twin granddaughters in our life has changed our attitudes so much. And our goal is to be around for them when we're in our 80s. And the only way that's going to happen is if we eat healthy, if we have healthy lifestyle. And so that is one of the big reasons for our change, because I have to be a healthy Mimi so that I can be there for those two little girls. They deserve it and I deserve it, right? That's my commitment to them. So let's talk about this. Again, I'm Captain Obvious right here, Captain Obvious Char. You should eat less. Okay, but let's talk about why this is so hard. And I know this because I have lived this. I'm living it every day. But what I have found, and if you don't believe me, inbox message Russ or tag him in this video and ask him. When we eat, this is crazy, you guys, when we eat our vegan meals from purplecarrot.com, when we eat our vegan meals, we are less hungry. Sounds crazy. We eat less, we eat fewer calories, and we are less hungry. He was shocked after doing it like 3 times in a row. He said, I can't believe it, but I'm less hungry because there's no sugar. Sugar makes you more hungry. Did you know that? So we are eating these really good, healthy meals that are vegan. They're just full of good proteins and leafy green vegetables and lots of good stuff. And so we're not hungry at night after we eat dinner, right? Because that's my thing. About 7 o'clock or so, I'm like, I want ice cream. And we were doing ice cream in December, like every night. We were so bad and we gained a little weight. And so we had to change that habit. But eating good food, less quantity, high quality, actually makes you satiated. So let's talk about this. So I've got a few bullet points here that I want to go over with you. Starving yourself is not the answer. Okay? Skipping breakfast is the worst thing you can do. Did you know you're better off just eating at least just one piece of whole wheat toast with a little bit of butter and honey than going without? Skipping breakfast is really bad for you, okay? Instead, oh, sorry, trash alarm. Instead, opt for better food and better fat choices and eat less more often, okay? You really should be eating 6 many meals a day. And honestly, that's how I like to do it. I typically snack all day long. And it's kind of annoying to some of my family. They tell me I'm like a toddler because I want to eat every 2 hours. But doing that keeps my metabolism revved up. So when you eat more often, if you're eating 6 meals a day, remember what I told you? Your body starts to digest that right away, and it boosts your metabolism, right? And your body uses that immediately for energy, and it doesn't get stored. So if you eat a little bit 6 times a day, you're going to be much better in your eating habits, right? Let's talk about calories. Calories are a measurement of energy, okay? So that's what it is. That's the definition of a calorie. It's a measurement of energy in dietary nutrients, okay? So carbs, fats, and proteins. Those are all your calories. That's where your calories come from. So carbs and fats are quickly metabolized, right? And used as energy. So when you eat carbs like pasta and breads, they go really quickly to metabolize, and your body turns it into sugar, and it turns it into energy right away, really, really quick. Carbs are converted to glucose, I just said that, sugar, as a burst of energy. I'm going through that already. They're also stored in your liver and in your muscles. So your carbs, the glucose, sugar, gets stored in your liver as well as in your muscles to be used as energy also. Anything excess calories that are not used in that moment of digestion and when your body is assessing its level of metabolism, guess where it goes? Right on your buttocks, right on your belly, right on your thighs, right? It gets stored in your fat cells. Because your body thinks that it needs to use it for later. So dietary fat is the same, okay? It works the same way. What we don't use gets stored in our fat cells, right? It's stored as fat for later use. And proteins are used actually as building materials for healthy cells and to boost your immune system and for cell repair. Okay, so that's what proteins do. But if you overeat proteins, like how many guys do you know that want an 8-ounce ribeye steak when you go to Outback Steakhouse or to Texas Roadhouse? Well, anything over a fistful of protein, doesn't matter if it's an animal protein or a vegetable protein, anything more than a fistful of protein, your body is going to store as fat. Yep, it goes right to fat. It gets metabolized, and your body does an assessment and is like, oh, well, they've been sitting all day. Let's see, no exercise. Well, I better store this as fat for later because it didn't need the energy, so it just takes it right and stores it right to fat. So what I want you to walk away from this is that our bodies are very good at knowing how to store energy for later, okay? So they're great storage compartments. So that's why there's a little math problem here. Your calories consumed minus calories burned equals calories stored as fat. That's the bottom line. So if you're consuming 3,000 calories a day and you're only burning about 1,200, which is about the average for your average person, 1,800 calories are being stored in your body as fat, and you'll never use them. So the bottom line is you have to eat less and eat the right foods, okay? And exercise more. So this is the other equation. So you're going to eat less plus exercise more equals lean body mass. Okay, so that's how you're going to do this. The only way to get rid of the fat that you currently have is not by eating less. The only way to get rid of the fat that you currently have is by exercising. I'm sorry. I know. I hate it. I hate it too. I do not like to exercise. So eating less slows the fat storage, okay? But the fat that you currently have, eating less isn't going to do anything with that. because what's going to happen is your body is just going to store more of the stuff that you take in. So eating less and exercising to burn your existing fat stores. Okay, so you have to eat less. That's your current metabolism, and then you're going to exercise to burn the fat stores. That's the only way it's going to happen. Okay, so are we clear on that? Everybody got it? All right, let's talk about this. Here's the problem. I just told you you have to eat less, but it's unsustainable. Okay, it's hard. I have it in capital letters in my notes. Hard, capital H-A-R-D, hard. I attest to this. It's hard to eat less. It really is. And here's what happens. Here's why, okay? Food is an emotionally and physical pleasure. That's right. That's what satiety is. Satiety is the pleasure that you get when you eat food. Okay, so Russ and I discuss this all the time. He gets great pleasure from eating food. He loves his food. So does our daughter Kinsley. Man, she loves the food. You should see her when we get out a cracker. Oh my gosh, she goes absolutely insane. So food is a physical and emotional issue. It actually causes an emotional problem inside of us, okay? So we create habits of appetite. Our appetite becomes a habit, right? So eating less, it really does suck. It's hard because our appetite sends us emotional signals from our body, and we give in and we eat. That's what hunger pains are, right? So our bodies sometimes starve and then store fat for use later. So when we don't give it what it wants, it goes, oh, okay, you're starving me now, so now I'm just going to store everything as fat, right? So there's a fine line. It's hard. And the problem is that permanent and healthy weight loss, and I'm talking healthy, I'm not talking about fad diet, Whole30, do it for 30 days, and then you stop, and whatever you lost comes back twice next month, right? That's not what I'm talking, because I don't think that's sustainable. It's not sustainable. So you have to change, and you have to make a change, and you have to stick with it, and it has to be gradual. Permanent and healthy weight loss happens with a gradual decrease in calories through healthy diet and burning more calories with exercise. So we have to eat healthy, try to eat less, gradually cut down, eat 6 mini meals a day, right? Just be snacking. Have a bag of nuts, a bag of dried fruit with you. Snack healthy in between your 3 meals, right? Just eat right. It's super important. We have to learn to eat right, and it's hard. I have learned so much in the last 4 months of our journey with these food delivery systems, and I've learned different techniques to cook. There's so many different ways to cook fruits and vegetables. I had no clue that you could do all these creative things with vegetables. Last night we had cauliflower steaks for dinner that we baked in the oven, and they were so good. It came with I prepared a roasted red bell pepper pesto that goes with it. It was fantastic. It was so good. Was it not good, Russ? It was great. Tonight we had cannellini bean burgers for dinner. It wasn't my favorite because I'm not a bean person, but it was actually delightfully surprising. So you have to eat right. Here are 5 things that you need to do. Change your eating habits, okay? Number 1 is buy organic. These food delivery systems, everything is organic, all right? So everything that comes to my front door is grown organically. And what that means is it has fewer pesticides and chemicals, okay? So grown organically. Number 2, you want to focus on good fats. And I will tell you that all of the fats that I'm going to list are ones that are regularly used in our meal prep. Okay, olive oil, fish, avocado, olives, coconut, nuts and seeds. And almost every single meal that I prepare has a nut of some form in it. It's kind of amazing. And different seeds. Last night we had almonds in the pesto. So just amazing. So good fats. You have to focus on good fats. Number 3, drink water. Half your body weight in ounces of water. I know there's another format that some people like to use, and that's 8-ounce glasses of water a day. I prefer half my body weight in ounces. That one works better for my brain. So whatever you can remember, just drink water, lots of water, because your body has to shed those toxins. And if you're not drinking water, it has no way to get rid of the toxins. So you've got to get the water in your system to help flood all those toxins out of your fat cells. Number 4, graze. I was already talking about this, right? Graze throughout the day. Don't feast. It's not good. You need to eat 6 mini meals is best. This is a note to self. You should never be hungry and you should never be full. You should just run around not feeling either one of those physical things during the day. So you should never be hungry and you should never be full. And when you do that, your body kind of learns to operate at peak operating capacity, and you're going to start watching the weight drop. You're going to start losing some weight. Since Russ and I started our journey with the Sunbasket and the Purple Carrot vegan meals, I've dropped 6 pounds. How many of you dropped? And Russ has lost 4 pounds. So that's pretty darn good. Not changing much else about our lifestyle, because we were already exercising a few days a week, and I'm going to talk about exercise in a minute. And number 5, lean protein from vegetables and fruit preferably, okay? Your lean protein should be no bigger than your fist, right? And you should pack the rest of your plate full of vegetables and fruits. So when we eat our vegan meals, we basically have a dinner plate that's full of vegetables and fruit in some form. It's pretty cool. I love it. We are really enjoying it. So what I want to ask you to think about with this slide is, how many of these healthy habits are you currently following each day? I want to encourage you to put more of them into your routine. Just start small. Just start small. We didn't start off with the 3 vegan meals. We started off with 3 paleo, gluten-free, organic meals with Sunbasket. That's how we started our journey. And then I started to love it so much that I added the other 3, and I just happened to choose the vegan. I think it's kind of fun. Are we vegan? No. We just eat 3 vegan meals a week, and we eat 3 regular meals with some sort of a animal protein in them the other 3 days a week. And we have 1 day a week that we get to go out. So we still get to go enjoy our meals out. We're just limited to 1 a week, all right? So let's talk about why doTERRA, okay? Because I'm going to talk to you now about some products. I've gone through some concepts with you, right? Now I'm going to talk about some products with you. But why doTERRA? doTERRA has a trademark. It's called Certified Pure Therapeutic Grade. And so that right there, that little trademark that you're going to find on our products, most specifically our essential oils, and I'm going to get into some essential oils to use for weight loss here in a minute, you can rest assured that they have been tested in a lab to be the most pure and the most efficacious products that we can provide to you. So that is your stamp of approval. That's how you know that you're getting a certified pure therapeutic grade product when you order your loyalty rewards wholesale membership from doTERRA. It's super important to know about quality. The other thing that makes doTERRA so special is our co-impact sourcing. So you're not just buying, some random essential oil that somebody, you know, created in a lab somewhere. Yep, there are synthetic ones out there that are created in a lab, and it's not good. So you need to be very, very careful about where you purchase your products from, and doTERRA is where you need to stop and just buy your products here. But we also have our co-impact sourcing, and what that means is that we go to where the plants grow naturally in the best environment in the world. So we have global sourcing, and in the global sourcing, we are touching and affecting lives in small villages all over the world. I think this is really, really super important. It's one of the things that I really, really love about doTERRA. And then the third thing that makes doTERRA so special is our Healing Hands Foundation. We have a Healing Hands Foundation, and Russ and I, we donate every month to the Healing Hands Foundation. I'm not going to share how much that is, but we do donate to the Healing Hands Foundation every month. And that is a nonprofit that doTERRA created to help these places in the world, in these countries where they have no running water, they have no medical care, they don't have a food supply. Emily Wright was talking about the frankincense trail and in Somalia, and how they one of their top exports, or you know, one of their top producers of money for that country is goats, and the second is fish, and the third is frankincense. And the goats are dying because they're starving. They have no water and no food. The fish, it's the same. They can't fish, right? And then, so the frankincense is really their primary source of income, but they're going, you know, it's a problem. And so doTERRA's Healing Hands Foundation did food and water drops recently in Somalia. It's a big deal, you guys. It's huge. We change lives, not just the lives of the people who buy doTERRA products, but people all over the world. This is a big deal. And so this is why you want to purchase from doTERRA. How about Slim and Sassy? Okay, I told you I was going to go into some products. Not a whole lot of products here. I'm just going to give you some ideas. But our Slim and Sassy essential oil blend is fantastic. I've got some ideas for you about how to use it. So get your pen and paper ready. Okay, so Slim and Sassy is a blend of grapefruit, lemon, peppermint, ginger, and cinnamon essential oils. Those are the oils that are in it. Slim and Sassy blend, when used, can help manage your hunger and appetite. Do you remember I was talking about the emotional highs and lows that come with your appetite, right? You get hangry, right? You can't know anybody who gets hangry. I think Russ has a tendency to get hangry sometimes. I'm going to start throwing Slim and Sassy at him. It's actually what I have in the diffuser back here. I don't even know if you can see it on. Let me see. Where is my diffuser? There it is. So my diffuser has Slim and Sassy in it. I love Slim and Sassy diffused. That's my favorite. Anyway, so it helps to calm your stomach when you are dieting and changing your eating habits. I just told you that I have issues with my digestion since I changed my eating habits. And it's not bad, it's good that I can't tolerate sugar, because it makes me go, no, I don't want any sugar, I'm done, I'm good, I don't want sugar. But it helps calm your stomach, and it helps with digestive concerns when you're changing your eating habits. And it also helps elevate your mood, which is why I like it in the diffuser. You can see it over there. When you put Slim and Sassy in the diffuser, it really elevates the mood in the room. Think about the oils in there. Grapefruit and lemon are very, very uplifting to your mood. So it's going to help you when you're trying to change your eating habits and change your lifestyle. We're going to need some help. It's okay, right? And then the ginger is really calming for your stomach. The cinnamon is going to help your blood sugar levels not, peak and spike when you're using the Slim and Sassy product. So in order to lose weight, right, to support your healthy weight loss, you're going to need to use 25 drops daily in water or a gel cap. Okay, so I wouldn't put 25 drops in one gel cap, but you could split it up 3 times a day and maybe do 8 in a gel cap 3 times a day. That's 24 drops. The other thing is that you can put it in your water, so you could add it to your water bottle. I don't like the taste of Slim and Sassy essential oil. I just don't. So I put it in the diffuser. I love that. And then I have another way that I use it here in just a few minutes. So that's to lose weight. To maintain weight loss, you're going to need to still use 10 to 15 drops a day in your water. Like I said, this is not once and done, right? This is a lifestyle change. And so you're going to need to continue the habit. You got to continue. You know, you can't just stop because you're going to gain it all back. That's what happens. And then we end up with this yo-yo effect, right? Not good for our body, not good at all for our health. All right, so let's talk about Trim Shake. I love the Trim Shakes. I prefer it in water, believe it or not. I'm not a big fan of putting it in milk or any of the other milk products, milky-ish products. But let's talk about what makes Trim Shake so special. It comes in 3 flavors. It's not pictured here, but we have orange cream, which is actually delicious, chocolate and vanilla. There are 70 calories per serving of Trim Shake. Okay, so that's a really good meal replacement, along with 8 grams of protein. So that's pretty good. That's pretty, you know, pretty robust. If you want more protein in it, put more scoops. That's pretty simple. It's a simple equation. The thing that's really cool about the Trim Shakes are the patented ingredients. One is called Essentra Trim, and that has been proven to manage the cortisol levels that happen when you're dieting, right? We get cortisol spikes, goes up and down like this. When you're dieting, your body releases cortisol when you're under stress. Why are we under stress? Because we're stopping eating, you know, big, huge meals, right? And we're cutting out fats and sugar, and our body is going, no, I want the fat, I need the sugar, right? So you get kind of hangry. So you've got to curb that. And by using the Trim Shake, it's going to really help with that. Because cortisol is the stress hormone, right? And what happens is when your body releases cortisol, it actually stores, it helps to store the fat in your abs, in your hips, and your thighs. That's the stress hormone, cortisol. All right. So, and then the Solathin is the protein extract that has been patented that supports healthy, your healthy feeling of full. So that satiety, that thing that we're craving, right? We're hungry, our appetite, that, you know, we want it because we want to feel full. Well, if you use a Trim Shake, you're not going to have that feeling because it's going to leave you full longer. All right, so that's the Solathin. So those are the Slim and Sassy Trim Shakes. And you can put this in you could put it in milk, you could put it in 2% milk, you could put it in almond milk, soy milk, you know, cashew milk, coconut milk, whatever you feel like you want to do. And then I would also add a scoop of Terra Greens to it. That's not part of this presentation, but the Terra Greens are awesome. I love the Terra Greens just with water. And that's going to give you an extra dose of your veggies, right? 1 scoop is the equivalent of a dose of vegetables. So you really need that. It's a great way to do this on the go. And we are on the go, let's face it, right? We have busy lifestyles. So for you to be on the go and not skip meals, remember I told you skipping meals is really bad for your body because your body thinks it's being starved, so it stores more fat. That's just the way it works. So this would be a really good option to keep you from starving yourself, right? Trick your body into thinking. We also have a vegan version of the Trim Shake. It's called the V Shake, and I believe it comes in vanilla. It only comes in 1 flavor, but it is vegan friendly for those of you who are going down that road. Let's talk about the Slim and Sassy Metabolic Gum. This is my favorite. I have this gum on me all the time. And each little piece of gum has 1 drop of Slim and Sassy oil in it. Okay, so it's got the Slim and Sassy oil blend, 1 drop in each piece of gum. And I am a gum chewer, I always have been, and I just love the way it tastes. So when I bite into it, the first thing that hits me is peppermint. Then I get the grapefruit and the lemon, so it's kind of a tart flavor. I love it. I love, love, love this gum, and I chew it for hours. That's just kind of my little thing. I love chewing gum, so I always have Slim and Sassy metabolic gum on me. I used to use Trident. I was a Trident person, and I would just buy it at the store. And now I don't have to. I just put this on my order, and I get my Slim and Sassy metabolic gum. I love it, and it gives you the same thing that the Slim and Sassy oil does. So it's weird because I don't like the oil blend, the taste, but I love the gum because it comes at you in waves, I think. So it's like you taste, I don't even taste the cinnamon at all, but I taste the peppermint and the lemon and the grapefruit. All right, so that's the Slim and Sassy metabolic gum. Let's talk about Terrazyme. This is one of my favorite products. I began using Terrazyme about a year ago. And once I figured out that it absolutely helps with my digestion, I could not stop using it. Terrazyme is an enzyme complex, and what it does is it helps break down the food that we do eat. So it helps to maximize the nutrient absorption by breaking down the proteins, the fats, the carbs, the sugar, and the fiber that we eat in our meals. And here's a sad fact. 75% of our enzymes, digestive enzymes, should come from the food that we eat. You want to know what the percentage is that actually comes from the food that we eat nowadays? 15%. Do you wonder why so many people have digestive issues in the United States? I'm not joking. You can walk up to strangers and probably 8 out of 10 people on the street would tell you that they have digestive issues of some sort. And this is why. This is why. So when I began using Terrazyme, my digestive issues all but disappeared. And so how I was using it before I started my cleanse is I would take one with every meal, and then I took one in the morning and one at night before I went to bed. And now I'm doing it with my cleanse, so I bumped it up a little bit. But Terrazyme is something that everybody needs. I don't care, age 0 to 99, because our food has very little enzymes. Why do you think that is? Why do you think that our food is depleted of enzymes? And if this was a live class, I would let you answer, but it's not, so I'll give you the answer. It should come from our food, but the depletion comes from cooking, right? How we cook our food. It comes from processing, so we eat way too many processed foods. All the restaurant food that I was eating was horrible, which is why I started using Terrazyme, because I was in restaurants all the time. But that still wasn't good for me, but I did get better, nutrition from it. The farming methods that we have, the soils are depleted. We turn it over too often, right? It doesn't have time to rest and really get all those minerals and nutrients from the soil like we used to. So there's lots and lots of reasons, and I'm sure you could think of more. But that's the basics behind Terrazyme. It's pretty important. All right. So let's talk about PB Assist and GX Assist. PB Assist is our probiotic. This one is super important for healthy digestion. Okay, we need this because if you've ever taken an antibiotic in your whole life, you are probably deplete in the bacterial flora in your gut, because antibiotics kill everything, right? So probiotics, I think that most doctors and most nutritionists now just kind of as a standard ask people to begin taking a probiotic. And I think that everybody should take a probiotic. I do. I take PB Assist. And then GX Assist is a part of our Cleanse and Restore Kit. So Russ and I are in the middle of our cleanse right now. On the 10th of May, we will begin the GX Assist. Okay, so that's like the middle part of the cleanse. And what it does is it just helps get rid of all of the backup that gets in there, right, from being unhealthy with our digestion. And it's going to help clear everything out and clear a path so that when we add the probiotic back in, we have a healthy place for it to grow. And the prebiotic in the PB Assist also helps that probiotic actually flora. That's not what I was trying to say. It helps the probiotic grow and become healthy in our gut. The prebiotic does. So it's actually the food for the probiotic. So those are our PB Assist and GX Assist. And then we have our Lifelong Vitality Pack. This, the LLV provides essential nutrients. This one is a must. If you're not on it, you need to be on it. That's what I'm going to say. Everybody needs to be on the Lifelong Vitality Pack. It's going to give you more energy, more vitality, healthy cellular replication, more focus, more energy. You're going to sleep better. You're just going to feel better overall. All right. So this is a must. And I really encourage people to try it for 30 days. And if you haven't felt better after 30 days, there's a 30-day money-back guarantee with this product. So I really encourage people to at least try it, because there are some benefits that are so important. There is the Alpha CRS, that's the cellular recovery. So that one helps to have healthy cells replicate in our body, and it's really good for our brain and our cardiovascular function, our heart. The Z omega are the omegas, all of the omegas that we need. And then the E part of it is the essential oils. So the essential oil omega complex, there are 9 essential oils that we need in our body every single day in that. So that one is also cardiovascular and brain health and joint health and your whole body. It's like it needs to be a well-oiled machine, and that's what it does. And the microplex is the vitamin and mineral complex, and it's a whole food, non-processed supplement. And so it comes from whole food sources, and it's just all goodness. So there are some things in there that we absolutely need, coenzyme, Q10, there's lots and lots of good things. So I would encourage you to do a little bit more research. This is another class all in and of itself, is the Lifelong Vitality, but you need it. Trust me, you do. And I would encourage you to begin taking it, because you'll feel like $1,000,000. Aerobic exercise. Now we're going to talk about the exercise part. And again, this is the part that I dislike. My favorite way to get my aerobic exercise is on the golf course. So when we go golfing, I'm like, yes, this is good. And we use a cart. We don't drive, we walk. And so aerobic exercise for 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week. That's what they recommend. Russ and I actually do get that, because we walk this dog. This little wiener dog, man, she walks for 30 minutes every day, at least. Actually, she'll do 30 minutes in one walk. She loves to go out and patrol. We call it Cleo on patrol. But the aerobic exercise is super important because it gets your heart going, okay? So aerobic exercise is for mental, it's for your body movement, right? It's good for your bones and joints and muscles. It's good for your brain, it's good for your heart, it's good for your lungs. You need aerobic exercise. And remember, when you are exercising, you are burning those stored fat calories. Okay, so the ones that are stored on your abdomen and your hips and your thighs, the ones that are stored there aren't going anywhere if you don't exercise to get rid of them. I'm sorry, don't shoot the messenger. It's the truth, right? How about strength training? We need to do strength training 30 minutes, about 2 to 3 days a week. And it's super important. And it doesn't have to be, crazy weightlifting at the gym, right? Strength training is doing planks. That's strength training. It's a good thing. Karin had the funniest shirt on today. What did it say? Something about planks feel the same way about you, or something like that. Because nobody likes to do planks, right? It was pretty funny. Anyway, so strength training is really important. And like I said, strength training can be all sorts of different things, and it does not have to be going into the gym and lifting weights, okay? You can, but it doesn't have to be that. How about flexibility? Stretch yourself 15 minutes a day. This is where something like yoga, meditation would come into play. Oh, see, Karin put this on here. Planks don't like you either. I love that. I think that is so funny, but I'm one of those weird people that I like to do planks. It's kind of my happy place, but do not ask me to do a push-up because I don't like them either. But flexibility, we need to stretch, okay? We sit too long, we don't move around well, we really, really need to stretch. And this is where doing a few yoga poses would be really, really good for your body, right? So just do some stretching, just get down on the floor and stretch. It's so good for you. And when you stretch, do you know what happens in your body when you stretch? Your muscles actually lengthen and it pulls the blood to them and the oxygen. So it's really good because it gets the oxygen moving through your body and through your muscles, and your muscles need oxygen to recover. So it's really, really good. It's so healthy for you to stretch, and it feels good, right? When you just let out a big old stretch, oh my gosh, it feels so good. And you can feel the blood rush to where you stretched, right? It's really good for you. So stretching is important. Let's talk about energy, because when you're dieting, you're gonna have energy crashes. It is what it is, right? And so Mito2 Max has been my go-to for 4 years. I have been using this product the whole time. I take at least 2 a day. When I'm under extreme stress, when I'm exercising more, when I'm traveling and teaching classes on the road, I do at least 4. You can do up to 8 a day. And it is so good for you. Quit drinking those crappy energy drinks. They're bad for you. All of them are bad for you. I don't care what company they come from. They're all bad for you. Did you get that? You see my passion? It's not good. Get rid of them. This is an herbal supplement to provide you the same energy and stamina that you get from those dang energy drinks, and this is good for you. Those are bad for you. They're toxic. Did you know they're linking those stupid things now to strokes? We have kids in their 20s and 30s that are having strokes. That's bad. Quit doing it, and don't let your kids. Educate people. Get the word out. They're terrible for you. Go with a natural energy source. Peppermint and wild orange are 2 of the very best little energy boosts. I don't know if you know this, but before I teach a class, every time I do peppermint and wild orange, right? It takes a lot of energy to do what I do, and I need to be energetic and passionate and full of vibrance. And peppermint and wild orange are my go-tos, as well as my Mito2 Max every day. So go natural. Use these as your natural energy boost. You'll be happy you did. And now I'm going to talk to you about managing stress, resting, relaxing, and renewing. You know, yesterday I had such a good day. I loved yesterday. Yesterday, Shar did some self-care, and that consisted of Russ taking me to Dutch Brothers on the way to church, and then we went to church and got our spiritual needs fulfilled and met, and then we came home, and you know what I did all day? I read a book on my patio, and it was so amazing. That is what Shar does for self-care. I wasn't thinking about anything else, just reading my little book. And my little book that I was reading is actually a self-improvement book. So that's a win-win, right? That's even double better. But we need to learn to manage our stress. So you got to figure out what works for you. Hot bath is also one of my favorite stress relievers, right? That helps me relax. Renew, recharge is what I do when I'm reading a book. Relaxing is what I do when I take a hot bath with some Epsom salts and some Aroma Touch essential oil in there. So good. And resting is very important. And I'm not talking about lounging on the sofa resting, watching TV. I'm talking about getting rest, sleep, restful, good quality sleep. And if you want to know, I have a ton of tips and tricks for that. And that is in another webinar that I already taught called Sleep with Intention. And you can find that on my YouTube channel. So if you want that, let me know and I can guide and direct you to that. But these are 3 things that are super important in managing stress. Rest, relax, and renew. Because you know what? If you're a stressed out hot mess, that's not attractive. And your family doesn't want to be around you. Your kids don't want to be around you. Your friends don't want to be around you. So we need to make sure that we take all of these things into consideration. And guess what? When your body is in stress, fight or flight, guess what happens with those toxic stress release hormones? I told you just a couple slides ago, cortisol releases into your body and it stores fat in your fat cells, in your hips, your thighs, and your abdomen. That's all stress, you guys, all stress. And the only way to get rid of it is to exercise. And guess what exercise does? It relieves your stress. It's a fact. Go do something, right? So my question is, are you ready to lose weight naturally? This is one of the kits that you can purchase in your back office with your wholesale membership. I think it's $185, the 2 trim shakes, the LLV, and the 4 bottles of doTERRA Slim and Sassy. I have one more thing to tell you about Slim and Sassy. So you know what else I do with it? And I think it's working. I think it's working. I use Slim and Sassy with our unscented hand and body lotion on my thighs and my buttocks. Russ laughs at me when I do it every day, but I do. I love it. And it's kind of tingly. It's, you know, the grapefruit on, it's just really, really, really nice. So that's just another little tidbit for you. Put the Slim and Sassy oil in your body lotion and slather it on every day. It's good for you. It's good for your skin. It's good for your body. And remember, whatever we put on our body gets absorbed into our what? Fat cells as toxins. Our body doesn't know how to get rid of it if we don't help it. And so it just stores it right in the fat cells. It's like, oh, what's this? Okay, well, we'll just tuck it over here for later. And that's where your body stores toxins, is in your fat cells. So, I mean, we need to get on this, you guys. And exercise, when you sweat during exercise, what is leaving your body? The toxins from your fat cells. They reside right underneath your skin. So exercising is good, sweating is good, putting Slim and Sassy on after your shower is good, right? I just want to leave you with this. You deserve to be healthy. Our families need us to be healthy. Our families need us, our friends need us. So we need to do everything we can to become healthy. And I'm talking about a journey, you guys. I'm not talking about overnight success. This is not something that happens overnight. How many years did it take to gain the 15 pounds you got, Shar? Oh, it took me at least a year, I think about a year and a half, to get the 15 pounds. I've lost 6. And it does not come off easily. It's a lot of hard work, but it's worth it because we need to feel good. We need to be in our best version of ourselves because our families need us. Our husbands need us. Our kids need us. Our grandkids need us. Our friends need us. Our team members, if we're building a doTERRA business, they certainly need us. And they want us to be healthy. And so we need to do this for ourselves. You deserve to be healthy. So I'm hoping that I can invite you on this journey and that you actually start doing these things. And if you can't remember what I said, I'm going to load this video to our YouTube channel as well. And you can go watch it over and over and over again so that you can take notes and go back and revisit what we've talked about tonight. So now what? This is another reason we need to be healthy for our pets, right? My little Cleo over here. Am I talking to the blanket earlier? Cleo? Yeah. But now what? What's the next step? Well, the next step is to take some of the products that we talked about and add those to your loyalty rewards or use your wholesale membership, right? Add this to your order and start your journey. If you're not currently a wholesale member with doTERRA, I'm sorry, but you need to get with the program and you need to become a wholesale member, and it works like Costco. So it's a $35 annual membership, and that entitles you to be able to purchase your products at 25% discount. So 25% below retail. You'll get your little shopping area, so you just get your member ID number and your password and just log in, and you can add these products as you need them, as you want to use them. Depending on how many scoops of trim shake you use a day, maybe you need to buy that once a month. and your supplements is an every month purchase. And so, sorry, I need my iced tea. So as you're moving along in your doTERRA journey, you have the option to go in and purchase your products at your leisure, and you get to control it. We also have a loyalty rewards program, which is the best out there. And so every time you make a purchase and you do it as a loyalty rewards order, you're going to receive points back on that order. And these points are real dollars. So 1 point equals $1, not like some of the other, the frequent flyer things, miles, you know, airline miles or credit card points are so bad, right? They're just horrible. But here you begin right out of the gate earning 10% right when you start your first LRP order, and then you'll gradually move all the way up to 30%. So when you do a $90 loyalty rewards order, you're going to get $30 back in points, 30% back in free points. So you'll have $30 that next month you can go get $30 worth of products for free. That's 3 lemon oils, right? That's crazy. Nobody else has a loyalty rewards program like ours, and you need to investigate that. So you can talk to me, or you can talk to the person that sent you this webinar, invited you here, and they would be happy to share with you more information about loyalty rewards. The last thing that I want to encourage you to do is to get involved. Whatever that looks like for you, we have 3 levels of involvement typically with doTERRA. We have folks who get their wholesale customer membership and they start it and they are just living the doTERRA lifestyle, right? We learn to transfer costs from all the things that we're currently spending at the store, like laundry detergent, no fabric softener in our house, we don't use it. We use lavender essential oil on a dryer ball. No laundry detergent at the grocery store, no dish soap, no bath soap, no lotions, no creams, none of that stuff, no cleaning supplies at all. Do we go to any of those aisles in the grocery store? We have transferred that cost over to our loyalty rewards. And every time I make a purchase, I get 30% back because I'm at 30%. So I get 55% off of my products when I purchase them through doTERRA. So I would much rather, besides the fact that it's really good for my family and our health, but also for my pocketbook financially, it just makes more sense to purchase these things through my back office in my wholesale membership. So I would love to encourage you to get involved in that way. And then sometimes what happens is people love our products and they love our oils and they can't help themselves, so they share with grandma, they share with the sister, they share with mom, they share with their BFF, right? And so now they've begun sharing doTERRA. And then eventually, sometimes people end up building a business, which is what happened to me. I did not intend for this to be a business, but I am so grateful, so blessed, and so happy that I made that decision. This is the best decision I've ever made in my entire life. It has changed everything in our world. Our health, our finances, our spiritual life is better. We have amazing relationships that we've built with people in our business and outside of our business. We have time freedom like crazy. We get to decide what we do every day. You know, if we decide that we want to go visit with the granddaughters, we just tell Valerie, hey, we're coming. And she's like, sure, come over. We're just hanging out. So we just go, we just pack up the car and we just go visit the girls for a few hours. So we have total time freedom. On Friday and Saturday, it was beautiful here in Colorado. We had 80-degree temps, and we are literally 100 feet from the swimming pool. Wouldn't you say 100 feet from the pool? And so Valerie brought the girls over, and we swam, and it was so much fun. It was just amazing. That is time freedom. We get to pick and choose what we do every single minute of every day of our lives. And that's something that a lot of people don't have, right? If you have to report to a job every day to a boss, you don't have time freedom. He owns you. You're renting your hours. So I would just like to encourage you to just consider the alternatives and the options and get involved in whatever way you want. And we are here to support you. We love you. And I'm so grateful for you joining me tonight. I want to remind you that the best is yet to come. when you start your doTERRA journey, it is going to be the best thing that ever happened to you too, just like it was for Russ and I. And if you have any questions or you need any support or anything I can do for you, please reach out to me. I'm here to help you and support you. I love you, and I am so grateful and so glad that you joined me tonight, and I look forward to hearing from you soon. Bye.